Slide. So my name is Linda Galardi, and this is my partner,
Kristen Zafonte.
Okay, and we'll be talking about how we can use technology in the classroom, such as Twitter, Skype, and Google Hangout for our class, our technology class 2610 at Stockton University. So I'll go first. And can you see it?
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to be talking about how you use Skype or video chats in general in the classroom. And I'll be using Skype and Google Hangouts. So one article I found was about mysterious Skype excites fifth graders. This is an article about how students were shown a different classroom and they weren't sure where it was. And they had to ask the other students questions about where they're located and what they do there and like the temperature and stuff like that, so they can figure out where they were located. And this was a class of fifth graders in York, Nebraska, and Seattle, Washington, with the Seattle Hebrew Academy. And their objective was to meet students from the all around the United States and compare and contrast the two classrooms. And I have the little quote from the article here, and it says, compared to the Seattle class of just a handful of students, York's 4 classrooms full of fifth graders seemed huge. It was the other way around when the kids shared information of their communities. York was microscopic, held against the 650,000 plus population of Seattle. So it was just comparing like a small town in York, and how the students can compare how a bigger city like Seattle, and the differences and the similarities about how they learn in the classroom, how they act, and what they've been doing and what they've been learning. Another one was about using new technology to learn piano. This one was in Kansas City, and it was in middle school. And it was teaching how the Eisenhower Middle School, and it was teaching how the district used the University of Kansas to help them learn pianos. So it was for students who can remotely study piano and those who had difficulties learning beforehand. So the students can play the keys on the instructor's keyboard, theoretically, through like the Skype. And then the instructor could play keys on their keyboard, given like the new technology that they were using. And the student could model after the teacher. That way they would be able to learn. And it was particularly useful for students who either did not have the resources to take piano classes, or for them who couldn't find an instructor. Okay. And one for the Google Hangout that I found was about this teacher who was very into about diving and marine biology. And he started out this program called By the Seat of Your Pants, which goes off of how his 6th graders in St. John, at the St. John School in Ontario, Canada, and how his students were first like kind of disgusted about how and afraid of sharks, and that they were they didn't really know about them because they didn't get to see them firsthand, or hands-on. So he went through and made this program which gives them the opportunity to talk to several different people from different areas of the world, and they could tag along with their when they went on the research. So here is a picture of the classroom, and in that picture it shows that their National Geographic explorer Sean Sable was talking to Joe's class about satellite propulsion systems. And over here, I highlighted a part of the article that was talking about, he said, using Google Hangouts, my class has joined a kayaking expedition on the Amazon River, an astronaut at the NASA training facility in Houston, Texas, and a team tagging blue whales in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And it was mostly just, he wanted the students to be able to see the world without really leaving the classroom, which was a good idea. And this program gives them the ability to really learn and be interested in science. So the students can talk to the scientists from all over the world and see what they're actually doing in the field, rather than just reading it out of a textbook or watching a boring documentary of it. And then this is my works cited. And that's about it.
All right, so I'm gonna start mine. Okay, so I had Twitter and Google Hangout. My first example of Twitter used in the classroom, I found students at DePaul University in Chicago. They use Twitter to get their lecture notes. It's used in an entrepreneurial course, and it's led by a man, Patrick J. Murphy. And I found like a couple of things he said about it. And he says, during the course, students aid and consult entrepreneurs as they attempt to grow local businesses, with lecture notes available on Twitter for students and the public to view. Students are able to better connect with the business community and even develop relationships. And he said that also he's even found clients through Twitter, and they hear what the class is talking about, and then they reach out to the class through their Twitter account. He thinks that if he didn't do this for his students, that these businessmen wouldn't be able to find out about his class and stuff. And it's given the students a chance to connect like with the outside world in the field that they're studying, which is kind of really cool. Gives them like a head start before they graduate. And my learning objective for this, I wrote college students in Murphy's entrepreneurial course at DePaul University will be able to develop a fair amount of business skills before graduation using Twitter to connect with business professionals in their field of study. Okay, and then my second example for Twitter, it's students in political science courses at the College of the Holy Cross in Massachusetts. They use Twitter to summarize major political events without going over the amount of the characters on Twitter, which is 140. Usually he would have his students write like long essays about things such as the Declaration of Independence. And the professor, Daniel Klinghard, he believes that exacting a response to these materials in 140 characters or fewer can also require deep thought. And he believes that he uses Twitter to debunk the fact that these new technologies are destroying the English language. And I found in the article that a student shared these assignments were helpful because they forced us to try to condense our thoughts about a particular reading. And it makes you look at like the overall view of the text, which is like kind of pretty cool because usually like you talk about like major things like this and like pages and pages and like a big paper, but like you're getting your students to think in a different and more concrete way. And for the learning objective, I put college students in Klinghard's political science classes at the College of the Holy Cross will be able to define most major political events in a very brief manner by using Twitter and deep thinking. And then my one for Google Hangout, I found students in political science courses at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in Nebraska use Google Hangout to communicate and talk with their political science professor, Ari Cohen. And it first started, like he created something called coffee hours, and he would do this like twice a week. It was after class hours, and he just would talk about political science related things with students just to get like their minds going and stuff, and anyone can join. And it was something like he didn't expect to become so popular with all his students. And my learning objective, I did college students in Cohen's political science courses will be able to generate ideas / thoughts to discuss a various amount of political science related topics with their professor and peers to understand different outlooks in society. And then last, I have my works cited. Just have everything right there. And okay.
All right. So, which ones do you think were better used in the classroom?
I mean, when I did like, because I researched like my Twitter stuff first, and I thought it like was really good for the classroom, but I feel like Google Hangout, like it's something really cool and different, and it like benefits a lot. I mean, what do you think?
Out of the two for Skype, I personally think the piano one was better than the one for the mystery classroom. Just seemed like a better idea and something that can, I mean, music can be shared in so many ways, and then that's just another way added on to that. I did like the one for the mystery classroom, but it was kind of, I don't know. I mean, it helped the students learn about different, but it would have been better, in my opinion, maybe if they did it somewhere, because like Nebraska and Seattle aren't that far apart.
Yeah.
Else in the world.
I also feel about like using like Google Hangout and Skype, like having that like face-to-face interaction like helps a lot more.
It does, yeah, because you get to see things as the person there seeing it.
Yeah, like I feel like you can do a lot more in your classroom than using like Twitter. I mean, some of like the stuff I found was like really cool, but I just feel like having that like ability like inside and outside of the classroom to like interact with people like face to face, I think would be most beneficial to students.
Yeah, something more than just words.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So out of the two Google Hangouts that we each presented, which one did you think was better, more effective for the students?
I feel like yours was really cool. When I was looking, I couldn't really like find a good one because not like much came up. I don't know, like because I know personally, like I've never heard of Google Hangout before we got this assignment. So I don't know if many people even know like about it, but I thought yours was really cool, with, like the sharks and everything.
Yeah, I thought that was effective, just to spark students' interest about science, which can sometimes be difficult because it's pretty boring at times.
Oh yeah, because yeah, that's like my least favorite subject. So like I totally understand. Like it gets boring. So that was awesome.
Okay. So any other remarks or thoughts or
no, I don't have anything else. Do you have anything else?
I think we hit everything that she wanted to, so
okay. Awesome.
Stop the broadcast and we can end it. All right.